So the Shark Lab is one of the oldest shark research labs in the country. And what we focus on is studying the behavior, physiology, and ecology of sharks, rays, and game fishes. But in 2018, everything changed. Because white sharks were increasing in California, and our data was documenting a lot of that, there's a concern that as sharks started to hang out at public beaches, that they posed a safety risk to the public. And a lot of lifeguards who were responsible for keeping people safe were very concerned. So they came to us and said, well, what do we know about white sharks, and is it safe for people to be in the water? And at the time we said, we really don't know what they're doing here. So it was the tools that we were using to study them that really became important in terms of the funding that we got from the state to establish the California Shark Beach Safety Program. So the California Shark Beach Safety Program's goal are three. Number one, research. We want to understand what sharks are doing along our beaches, how many sharks are there, what are they doing while they're in and amongst people, do they pose a risk to people? And then of course the other part of that is we have to get that information out to lifeguards, for example, people who are on the beach trying to keep people safe. Also get it out to the general public. So the whole point of the Shark Beach Safety Program is learning more about white sharks and getting that information to the people who need it so that we can safely share the coastline with them. So the funding enabled us to really scale up our program. People have to remember we operate from San Diego all the way to Morro Bay. That's almost 600 miles of coastline that we're monitoring. So for us, getting that information out to the public, whatever the current science is really important in changing the way they share the water with these animals.
We're in the business of protecting the public, so partnering with a group like Shark Lab gives us that ability to keep our best public safety practices to ensure public safety when animals are sighted or when incidents do occur. The Shark Lab program is definitely a benefit to the community here and regionally and locally in Huntington Beach. Again, I'll start with the education piece. The program really does a great job of that outreach and showing California's biodiversity and really highlighting how special these animals are and how they contribute to our ecosystem here.
When students have the opportunity to speak one-on-one, I think it brings them a lot of peace of mind and helps them understand these things are just a part of our world. And there's ways that we can show respect to them that'll help keep us safe and still able to have a good time when visiting the beach.
The way typically people consider white sharks are these animals like in Jaws, right? This monster, and if it's nearby, it's going to bite you. And what our data have clearly shown is that's not true. These sharks are in and amongst people all the time, and they seem to largely ignore them. Now, the population's growing. Things are changing. The ocean is changing constantly. So the question is, will that always be the case? Or is this something we have to continuously monitor? So right now, we're trying to make sure we have all the right tools in place. We have the right technology that we're applying, even testing new technology, so that we can continue to monitor these populations and ensure people's safety. Right now, white sharks have been protected in California since 1994, and that probably explains why the population is coming back. They've been better protected. So are there things that we can do to change our behavior to keep us safer and keep them safer? And that's really the key goal of the Shark Beach Safety Program.